Live to the Prime Minister at Parliament.
Until our world-leading social media laws come into effect on December the 10th. This is about letting kids be kids. It's also about empowering parents to be able to have those discussions with their children. We don't argue that these laws will be perfect in their implementation. We do argue very strongly, though, that this is the Government of Australia setting down what we expect to happen, including reminding social media companies that they have a social responsibility and that they need to be conscious about their social licence, like other businesses. This is a reform that has come from the bottom up. It has been driven largely by parents who'd lost their young sons and daughters. It's been driven by young people themselves, people like young Flossie, who came here, a 12-year-old from Tasmania just last week, who's run a campaign with her peers saying what they could do rather than spending time on their devices, playing sport, learning a musical instrument, reading, engaging with each other and building friendships on a face-to-face basis. It is inspirational, the fact that parents have taken what is often a devastating personal tragedy and channelled that trauma into helping others and making sure that other parents and siblings don't go through what their tragic experience has been. So I will call upon Annika to make some comments as well, but just some comments on some other news of the day because it's been a busy period. Firstly, on the loss of John Laws yesterday. John Laws was an iconic Australian. His voice resonated throughout our nation. People trusted John Laws, they listened to John Laws and they engaged with John Laws. He was a permanent feature of our media landscape, and those golden tonsils leaning into that golden microphone was something that Australians felt was a part of their everyday experience for not just years, but for decades. John Law's relationship, of course, with Caroline that he spoke about on a day-to-day basis was something that we all felt like we knew that relationship, which was indeed wonderful. John Laws was also someone who was great company off-air. I enjoyed quite a few lunches with John Laws, and he was always engaging, someone who had a real insight into the Australian character, both in our cities, but also importantly in the bush. He's someone who was particularly attracted towards people in regional Australia, and they warmed to him as well. On Saturday morning, we lost Graham Richardson, a Labor legend, someone who made an enormous difference as a minister in the Hawke and Keating governments, as Minister for Communications, Minister for Social Security, Minister for Health, Minister for Sport, but importantly as well, Minister for the Environment, is where he had a real impact. He, more than anyone else, I think, is responsible for Labor being the party of the natural environment and protecting the natural environment. Daintree stands today because of the work that Graham Richardson did, but other work that he did as well. He was, of course, a formidable character in machine politics in the Labor Party. He's someone who was a remarkable feature of Sydney Town Hall. I served with Graham Richardson when I was Assistant State Secretary of the New South Wales ALP. He was the Senior Vice President of the New South Wales ALP. He fought politics hard inside the Labor Party and on behalf of the Labor Party. And I had a call very early on Saturday morning from Amanda. My heart goes out to Amanda and Darcy. Amanda has this morning been in contact with me. She has accepted the offer of a state funeral for Graeme, and when those details are sought through, we'll make an appropriate announcement. It's true as well that when I spoke to Amanda about what Graham's wishes were, she responded by saying that Graham and her thought he'd lived forever. It was a bit like that. Graham, when you saw him after those extensive operations that he went through, you wouldn't have thought that he would continue to be able to not just live, but live well and enjoy life. He certainly did that. He got to see Darcy complete his highest school certificate, and that was something that he publicly and privately said was his objective in keeping going under circumstances which would have led most people to not be with us for this length of time. So we'll make that announcement at an appropriate time. Further today, a couple more to come. I announced that the Honourable Jay Weatherill, the former Premier of South Australia, will be Australia's next High Commissioner to the United Kingdom. Jay Weatherill is an entirely appropriate appointment. Jay Weatherill served as South Australia's 45th Premier for over 6 years. He championed national debate on sovereign defence capability, renewable energy targets, environmental protection issues. He served in the South Australian Parliament for 16 years, including not just Premier but Treasurer, State Development, Education and Environment. As Premier, he was instrumental in establishing South Australia's leadership in the defence industry, including in the construction of submarines. And as a proud South Australian, as our future High Commissioner, Jay is well placed to take forward AUKUS in our nation's interest, particularly with SSN AUKUS, which we'll be doing in partnership with the United Kingdom. I do thank the outgoing High Commissioner, Stephen Smith, for his service. Stephen has done a remarkable job in representing Australia's interests across the UK, across security and defence matters in particular, has taken a leading role in Australia's work with the Coalition of the Willing. That's been convened by Prime Minister Starmer and President Macron. One final matter, given where we are in mid-December almost, is this morning Cabinet heard a report from Minister Christy McBain and the Coordinator General of NEMA, Brendan Moon, just about the preparation for the high-risk weather season, which is upcoming. I do want to inform the Australian public that the preparations have been extensive, more so perhaps than ever before. There have been 2 full drills for a while. That wasn't always the case under past experience. So 2 full drills, including a summit here of over 300 people, including emergency management personnel from the Commonwealth and the states, the energy companies and people through utilities, non-government organisations as well, all going through those exercises of preparations. The expectations are not heightened beyond what is normal, but we live in a country where there are always bushfire risks and flood risks as well. There has been substantial amount of rain in parts of Australia, and that means that there is a slightly increased risk of flooding because of the nature of the soil and ground which is there as well. So I just thought it was worthwhile to get that message across, but also to take the opportunity, which I've been asked to do, to say to the Australian public, the government is preparing, you need to prepare too. If you're in an area that's vulnerable for fire or flooding or other natural events and extreme weather events, then do that preparation. You know, clear your gutters, do the things that you know need to be done. Don't wait until there's an extreme weather warning heading your way. Make sure you use this period while things are relatively calm to make sure you're fully prepared.